Alright, number 5. We're going to have to use some of those other trig identities to solve this one. We have 2 sine of 2x. So the fact that you have a number multiplied times x says we're going to have to do something different here. So 2 sine 2x times sine of x minus cosine of x equals 0. So there's double angle formulas that we're going to have to look at to substitute this so that I can get a single x here. So let me find, that's the textbook. I don't want that. I want the Trig cheat sheet to pull that up. So that's here. Zoom in a little bit. Alright, so as this is opening up, I'm going to be looking for the double angle. So you see they got several different forms. They got half angle, some difference, product, even odd, periodic, sum to product, double angle. This is what we need. We have sine of 2x. That's equal to 2 sine cosine. 2 times sine cosine. And there's several ways to write if you had cosine, but this is one we need. 2 sine times cosine. Alright. So this sine 2x right here, this part, I'm going to place with 2 times sine x cosine x. So that 2 outside will stay. And in parentheses, this part right here is equal to 2 sine of x, whatever the angle is, cosine of x. And then it's being multiplied by sine of x, and then minus cosine of x, and that equals 0. Alright, so I'm going to multiply sine, so it's going to give me sine squared. I'm also going to multiply the 2 times its number, it's going to give me 4. So simplifying, this gives me 4 sine squared x times cosine x minus cosine of x equals 0. Now if we look at these two terms individually, they both have cosine in common, so I'm going to factor out a cosine. So cosine x will come out, and in parentheses we will have 4 sine squared x minus 1 is equal to 0. And so now that we have this in factor form, we just set each of these terms equal to 0 separately and then solve. So we will set cosine of x equal to 0 from the unit circle. There are two numbers that will give us an x value of 0. That would be pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. Alright, so just to, I'm kind of doing these from memory, but let me point them out. Unit circle. X value of 0 corresponds to pi over 2, and x value 0, 3 pi over 2. So those radian measurements. Alright, and then the other one, we actually have to solve it. Okay, so 4 sine squared x minus 1 equals 0. Add 1. Equals 1 divided by 4. here, and then you got to take the square root both sides. It's going to give you a plus or minus, so we get sine x equals positive or negative 1/2. Alright, so the sine values from the unit circle to give you positive 1/2 or negative 1/2 are pi over 3, pi over 6, and then 5 pi over 6, and then 7 pi over 6, and 11 pi over 6. And these are the y values because we're dealing with sine. So it's a lot of things you got to remember and be familiar with this unit circle. Just to iterate it, y value 1/2 is here and across. So both of them are positive up here, and then negative 1/2 for the y value. That's 7 pi over 6, 11 pi over 6, pi over 6, and 5 pi over 6. So that's where those values come from. So we need all 6 of these two, and these two, or these 4. Pi divided by 2. 3 pi divided by 2. Pi divided by 6. 5 pi divided by 6. 7 pi divided by 6. And 11 pi divided by 6.